Ladies and gentlemen, this is breaking news. Ex-New Mexico judge, wife arrested for allegedly harboring a member of a criminal organization. Let's go here. That was a Fox News article, and this is a KRQE.com article. Update, former New Mexico judge, wife arrested following an investigation. Let's read this really quickly. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. El Paso, Texas, a former New Mexico judge and his wife were arrested on Thursday, April 24th, after federal law enforcement learned that their tenant, who is an alleged member of an organized crime organization, was arrested at the judge's home. What is going on? What is going on with the Democratic Party, ladies and gentlemen? Hit subscribe to this channel. Let's get to why he resigned. The scandal broke about a day ago. He was arrested today. Trump, Kash Patel, Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi. This administration will not allow the typical Democratic Party behavior. And these are the wonderful, morally superior who care so much about norms and traditions. Norms and traditions. Hit subscribe.
Democrat judge in New Mexico has resigned after he reportedly housed a suspected Tren de Aragua gang member on his property. Griff Jenkins with us this morning. Griff, how did this happen?
I don't have any idea, Stu. You can't make this up. I mean, what did this judge know or not know? Was he not aware? Look, this all began in late February, okay? Homeland Security investigation agents raided Judge Joel Cano's New Mexico property and arrested this alleged Tren de Aragua gang member named Christian Ortega Lopez for being illegally in the country and in possession of firearms. Now, days later, Judge Cano resigned without explanation, and according to court documents, Ortega Lopez had been doing odd jobs for Cano's wife before being offered lodging in the couple's casita on the back of the property following his eviction from an El Paso apartment. And it says this: the defendant was introduced to Nancy Cano's daughter, April Cano, who possessed a large number of firearms. The defendant advised that April Cano allowed him to hold and sometimes shoot various firearms. It also alleges in the documents Ortega Lopez admitted he knew it was illegal for him to possess firearms associated with other TDA gang members and had tattoos associated with TDA, and worried about telling the judge's wife about an AK-47 tattoo, which is a known TDA identifier. Now, shortly after Judge Cano's resignation, the State Judicial Standards Commission petitioned the New Mexico Supreme Court to suspend him for harboring a TDA gang member, who in turn barred Cano for life from holding or running for any judicial office. However, no indication Cano is currently under investigation by the authorities. Now, we've also learned, by the way, Ortega Lopez illegally entered the country in Eagle Pass, Texas in December of 2023, Stu, but was released with a notice to appear.
So there you have it. Let's read this really quickly. It's the typical Democratic Party. The judge is a Democrat in New Mexico. A former New Mexico judge and his wife were arrested on Thursday, April 24th, after federal law enforcement learned that their tenant who is an alleged member of an organization, was at the judge's home. Former magistrate Judge Joel Cano and his wife, Nancy Cano, were taken into custody. So, as previously reported, okay, so it's basically, the article basically talks about exactly what took place. The question, ladies and gentlemen, is why is this happening? Why is the Democratic Party, why are they fighting tooth and nail when they can to just stop President Trump's immigration policies, when they can simply, and here is what Democrats should do if they care about keeping undocumented immigrants in the country. If indeed they care about keeping undocumented immigrants in the country, okay, what they should do is the following. They should simply pass legislation, okay? They can pass legislation, or they can push for legislation that, I'm trying to find a, I'm trying. All right. They can pass legislation and run and campaign on laws keeping undocumented immigrants in the country without fear of deportation. Does that sound, if that sounds outlandish, that's the Democratic Party value system. They don't believe in single-payer health care. I watch the liberal, progressive channels, the Never Trump, former or current, Republican in name only channels. There's one in particular. I read all the nonsense of people that oppose Trump just so I can better understand the apoplectic hysteria from Never Trumpers and from Democrats who think that Trump is an authoritarian tyrant despot. And of course, they love to say fascist, but he's the antithesis of one. He wants to end wars. I don't think the 1930s and 1940s Germans were known for ending wars. The Democrats don't believe in anything they claim, and the Never Trump Republicans also don't believe that Trump is this despot. Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney voted in line with Trump over 90% of the time, according to 538. Tracking Congress in the age of Trump. This was before he became a two-term president, winning the popular vote. Okay. The Never Trump Republicans and the apoplectic, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats and progressives and far left who despise Trump don't believe in their statements against Trump. They don't believe in their alleged value system. Democrats will not run. This is why you have the David Hogg versus the whole DNC thing. They cheat their candidates, number one. They don't even have functioning primaries. If they did, they would have a far left individual winning like Bernie Sanders, but they cheated him. Then they got somebody like Biden, but he couldn't communicate or function, so they usurped him after he won his primary. They don't have functioning primaries. That's number one. Number two, why are Democrats harboring members of criminal organizations? Democrats don't truly believe the existing immigration laws are moral or ethical or just, or they don't believe that existing immigration laws serve a national security function. Okay, but they won't campaign on reversing or reforming or altering them. They use buzzwords like comprehensive immigration reform. They will not reform any laws pertaining to undocumented immigrants or the removal or deportation because Democrats lie through their teeth regarding their alleged value system. They will not campaign or push for a Green New Deal because they know it will increase energy costs. They won't campaign for Medicare for all. They won't pass any Medicare for all or single-payer legislation. And then they talk about how people are losing their lives because of medical costs. Well, they're not touching single-payer health care because it's not even feasible. It would only... Studies show, the studies, of course, the Democrats, if a study doesn't coincide with the Democratic Party or liberal philosophy or progressive mindset, it's not a bad study. But studies show it would be inefficient and increase taxes and cost of healthcare anyway. There was a New York University study years back. But they don't even have it on a state level. They're not campaigning on reforming immigration laws. They're not campaigning on Green New Deal. They're not campaigning or passing legislation on single payer. What else did they want? They wanted to pack the courts. Oh, the good Democrats wanted to pack the courts. They're not campaigning on packing the Supreme Court. Okay, all of these things that they stated that they're going to do, they're not doing. All of these things that they stated that, what else do they stand for? Invasions took place, so the whole thing was that Vladimir was afraid of the Democrats, and he wanted Trump. The Russians wanted Trump. Then why did that country get invaded by Putin while Biden was in office? Why did that territory get taken while President Obama was in office? I guess our former Cold War adversary doesn't really care about Democrats too much, isn't afraid of them at all. What do Democrats stand for? Now they're keying Teslas. It's essentially a cult. It's a political cult. Then they go and the mass tragedy or the people lose their lives. Legislation, gun reform. Go and read this. You can watch this segment or read the story of why that judge was arrested tonight. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Another Democrat arrested.